In the tumultuous summer of 2020, during a racial protest, in the town of Birmingham, Alabama, a Confederate monument was overturned. Protesters discovered beneath it lie a buried manuscript entitled, The Book of Lucifer. The Book of Lucifer is an account of famous historical religious stories as retold by Satan, aka Lucifer Jehovahson. The volumes contained herein are highly controversial, and it is advised that the weak at heart steer clear from it. Skilled literary professor, Lord Cain de Wilt, will read excerpts while also including interviews and testimonies of people whose lives have been forever changed by this book.
Greetings, and welcome to a very special Father's Day edition of the Book of Lucifer. I believe it is common knowledge that all fathers, in fact, are not the same. A father who respects your choices even when they don't understand them. A father who loves you unconditionally. A father who is honest but never brutally honest. These are the obvious signs of a good father. I also subscribe to the philosophy that being able to apologize when you make mistakes is a sign of a good father. Being a good father is a constant balancing act of firmness with flexibility. More fathers seem to get it wrong than right sometimes. I must, however, insist that if your own father was like mine, a flawed individual, or ultimately just a bad parent, then you can join me and millions of others who rebel against the toxic parenting by ending the cycle with ourselves. My father, as I see it, never really gave a damn about me. The large spaces between his absence were often filled with his abuse. I rebel against his generational curse, his generational trauma. I encourage you not to be like the self-deceiving Christians who lie to themselves and went and washed themselves in the blood of Christ and call themselves clean and born new. I promise you, anything worth having in this life requires work. Some religious leaders will tell you that self-help is masturbation. I say never stop loving yourself. Never stop becoming the best version of yourself. But don't do it for me. Do it for yourself. Now let's get on with it. No doubt we have all suffered through that old tired cliché Christian chant, Our Father which art in heaven. Well, let me tell you a little story about our Father, involving other fathers. One night while God's homeboy Abraham was fast asleep within his tent, the Lord God Jehovah sent him forth terrible, frightful visions, because pranking his best friend shows you the true toxic, immature mentality of Jehovah. That night in Abraham's tent. Abraham.
God, it's so good to see you.
I want you to sacrifice your son unto me.
What?
I need you to prove your love to me by killing your son.
I don't understand.
Slay thy son on Mount Moriah, where I can get a good look.
No, what? My lord, please.
All the commotion awoke Sarah.
Hush up all thy noise, ye old fool. I'm getting my beauty sleep.
I just had the worst nightmare. God was just telling me that...
I don't care. I was having a dream about being back in the Pharaoh's harem in Egypt. Whew, them was some good times.
The very next night, Jehovah came to visit poor old Abraham again. Abraham.
Oh, God, is that you? Oh, I had the worst dream last night. I had a dream you were telling me to make my son a human sacrifice, like one of them old pagan gods of old.
If you truly love me.
I do. After all you've done for me, I would do anything.
Then kill us thy son.
Say what?
I am not pleased. Slay the lad, slit his throat, and burn him. Then I shall be pleased. Murder is the only way I can truly test your resolve.
Come on, God, come on. What do you mean? I got two sons anyway. Which one do you want?
Have faith in me, or I will take everything away from you. Take the lad to Mount Moriah, and build an altar, and tarry not, lest thou quicken my wrath. So, Abraham, being fearful of the Lord, was once again forced into another calamitous situation. The rest of this story might not sit well with Christian and Muslim audiences, but if you are searching for Muhammad, or perhaps even King James's version of this story, you are most certainly in the wrong place. Abraham gathered up both his sons Isaac and Ishmael, and he prepared to load an ass with provisions and head up to Mount Moriah.
Isaac, go fill these with water for our trip.
Yes, Father.
Ishmael, back that ass up over here, that it might carry mine load.
What are y'all talking about? Where are you taking Isaac? What is Ishmael doing here?
Oh, we're just going on a father-son camping trip.
I don't know about all this.
And Abraham lied unto Sarah.
Everything's gonna be fine.
I guess after all God brought us through, I should trust him not to let any harm befall our little lad.
So as they traveled up the mountain, Abraham spoke to his sons.
My sons, I have been plagued by dreams at night, and God came unto me and asked me to come up to the mountaintop and make a sacrifice unto him.
Ishmael, being a clever lad, inquired details of his father.
Father, we have no lamb, no ram, not even a bird to make an offering. Do God get mad that we don't have anything to give?
God will provide.
In little of no time, they arrived at the top of the mountain.
Hey, Isaac, go gather some firewood for the altar.
Yes, Father. Father, you seem nervous and upset. What is going on?
My son, God has commanded me to sacrifice one of my sons unto him, and I'm terrified to disobey him. God could wipe out everything I have and everyone I love.
Father, do not weep. Let me be the sacrifice. I would gladly lay down my life to save the others.
You have great faith. God never said which son. I thought he would reveal it to me on the way, but he has shown me now through your courage what I must do. God always favors the youngest son to the point of shaming the elder sons. I believe it must be Isaac we must offer unto him, but I cannot bring myself to slay him.
Jehovah watched Abraham emotionally struggle from above in delight.
Look at his face. He's crying like a little baby.
Then Isaac returned with the firewood, and Ishmael took his brother and led him to the altar. Young Isaac knew from his older brother's tears and how his father turned his back to him that he was indeed to become the sacrifice. Ishmael raised the blade over his younger brother.
I do this for our father to honor his covenant with Allah. I love you. Please forgive me, brother.
Ishmael, with tears flowing down his face, raised his blade high, and just as he was about to come down upon the lad, Abraham reached out and grabbed his hand.
No, no!
He snatched the knife from the hands of Ishmael.
No, I cannot bear it.
But at that moment, Isaac spoke unto his father, saying,
You cannot defy God. You must give me unto him, Father. Fear not, I go willingly.
You're right. Forgive me, Ishmael. I must be the one who has to do this. Step aside.
And Abraham was just about to bring the blade into the lad's skin. Now in various scripture it reads that an angel of the Lord arrives and seizes the hand of Abraham. That is not true. Seeing how out of control his prank had gone, Jehovah, Allah, Elohim, or whatever he has lied and told you his name was, the cosmic orphan known as our Father, he rushed down and grabbed Abraham's hand.
Whoa, hang on. It's a prank, dude. Chill. What is a prank? What's a prank?
It was a very funny joke until you tried to kill the wrong son and get all stabby with Isaac. Let's just say I tested you all, and you all passed, and now you can go home.
I know what you're thinking. No, this does not make God good. Preserving Isaac and Ishmael only to torture their descendants until the end of time is not a sign of virtue. Besides, there was another father who was not so lucky, as he caught Jehovah on an off day, a day when Jehovah would accept a human sacrifice. Yes, dearest reader, human sacrifice to honor Jehovah. My father Jehovah has an interest, we shall say, in youth. Notice whenever you see paintings of him, he is often surrounded by small angels that look like naked children. I will only say that this is no coincidence, nor is it a metaphor. I have already explained how his relationship with the young Virgin Mary could be viewed as something today's scholars might call problematic. I will give you the facts and let you decide for yourself. Quite some while ago, before air conditioning, antibiotics, and tissue paper made the world a better place, the Kingdom of Israel at this time was actually more like a loose confederacy under the command of my father. So, as you guessed it, they were at war with their neighbors to take their land and such. Not yet having a king, Israel had judges. Judges who acted as military generals / prime ministers for the people. Yiftah, also known as Jephthah. Yiftah's father was a great bloody warrior for Jehovah, and yes, his mother was a lowly prostitute, but his brothers sent him away from the village when his father died. Yiftah, like his father, had been touched by Jehovah, and he was a terrifying warrior who could take a life as easy as he could breathe. Israel started losing some important battles, so they had to go back and beg Yiftah, who already had an army of his own bloodthirsty assassins. They begged Yiftah to come and fight for Israel. Yiftah, only ever wanting to truly be accepted by his people, naturally agreed, but he found himself in a losing battle.
My lord, I have the report that you have asked for.
Very well. Tell me what we're up against these Ammonites.
The king has sent a message, my lord. They want all the land back that we took since we left Egypt in the time of Moses, my lord.
Well, that's impossible. We can't possibly do that, you know.
We may be in for the fight of our lives, my lord, but it is an honor to fight and serve by your side.
Look, I've killed a lot of people before, okay, but this is crazy. I need you to leave me now, for I must pray.
Yes, my lord, it is an honor to be sent away from your presence.
So Yiftah called up upon the Lord.
Oh, God, what am I gonna do?
Just then,
There he is.
How's it hanging, champ? You ready to go fight some Ammonites?
Lord, they want us to return the land that was taken from them back during the time of Moses.
Yeah, so?
What do I say to the king?
Tell him I told Moses to take their land. I gave the command. Tell him I did it all by myself. Just like when I made this universe. Me, myself, and I.
Yes, my lord, I understand.
And tell him if he really has some kind of problem with me and how I run my universe, that he can meet you and your men on the battlefield.
Yes, Lord.
and it came to pass that time did indeed pass, and Yiftah, who Christians to this day mispronounce as Jephthah, found himself losing to the Ammonites. The battle took place late into the night.
Quickly, soldier, what news have you?
It is an honor to deliver bad news unto my lord.
How bad?
The truth, my lord.
The truth, please.
It has been an absolute pleasure serving by your side, my lord, and I can't think of nobody I'd rather die next to than...
Rally the men to meet me on the field.
Yes, my lord, yes.
This is it.
At once, my lord.
All or nothing.
Elsewhere, only 10 minutes before Yiftah fell to his knees in prayer, my father was about to do something so diabolically evil, it still to this day pisses me right off. He was hanging out at Yiftah's house, watching his 17-year-old daughter, in silence. He had that look in his eye, like an R&B singer from Chicago. Her name is never mentioned because, in case you haven't picked up on it yet, the whole lot of the people who wrote the Bible are sexist pigs. Unfortunately, her true name has been lost in time and replaced with anonymity. Thus, to honor her, we shall give her a name now. I shall call her NALLI. NALLI is an Old Norse name, taken from the tale of the dwarves in the poem Völuspá. It means dead body. But before Jehovah could do anything, he was interrupted by the prayer of Yiftah from the battlefield.
God, please. We are losing, and they are closing in. I really need your help right now. Yiftah, my faithful servant, I have seen you in battle. You do not need my help. Lord, are we watching the same battle? We are losing out here. Please, I'd do anything to keep the fall of Israel from being on my shoulders.
Jehovah, hearing this, became excited.
You know, sometimes for certain victories, it may require great sacrifice. My lord, I will make a sacrifice to thee as soon as I get home. I'll sacrifice the first living thing I see. A goat, ram, lamb, be it a horse or a bull, whatever you want, my lord. Just please, help us to win this battle. The first thing thou shalt see when thou getst home, thou wilt sacrifice unto me, you say? Yes, Lord, yes. Very well, I accept, and we shall not speak of this again.
God gave Yiftah the victory and delivered the Ammonites into his hands. Then the army as well as the people of Israel did celebrate. Yiftah and his men began to happily make their way back home as the sun rose behind them, dawning a new day for Israel ahead of them. Unbeknownst to Yiftah, my father was already there, sitting in NALLI's room, admiring her and listening to her pray.
And Lord, I pray that my father is victorious upon the battlefield.
And the Lord hushed his voice down to a diabolical whisper, to only where the young girl could hear him.
Where is thy faith? Thou father honors God with the swinging of his sword. Shall God not honor thy father with victory in battle? Show thy faith. Take up thy timbrels and go to meet him and celebrate your father's return. Greet him at the gate with songs of praise.
Just then God sent a deep sleep upon all the cattle and livestock in Yiftah's gates. Yiftah, seeing his house from a distance, starts to run, and as he runs top speed, his heart sinks to the bottom of his stomach as he hears the timbrels that he bought his daughter just before he left war. Yiftah's feet froze to the ground on that spot, about 20 paces away from his gate. For a few seconds his blood stood still in his veins. He began to sweat, and his breath became harder to draw. His daughter came smiling, singing, and running out to greet her father, singing her song and crowning her father a champion in her verse. A sharp, painful coldness landed upon the left shoulder of Yiftah, whose eyes welled with tears the moment he saw his daughter come bursting through the gate. The voice of Jehovah spoke at a decibel where only Yiftah could hear.
I remember thou saying thou shalt sacrifice the first living thing thou see when thou returnest home. Remember thou made a vow. I did not manipulate you into sacrificing your beautiful young daughter. This was all thou's doing.
Yiftah cried. Yiftah told his daughter of the vow, and even though you and I know he was tricked into it, Yiftah explained that regrettably he had to kill his virgin daughter. NALLI asked her father if she could go off with her friends to bewail her virginity. So her father let her and some other young girls from the village go off into the mountains. They had a 3-month going away party. Then the girl returned home to her father to be sacrificed. Yiftah had his wife, who would quietly leave him shortly after all of this happened, to prepare the girl to be sacrificed unto Jehovah. As NALLI lay upon the altar, I imagine that she, like young Ishmael or young Isaac, felt that the best thing that she could do with her young life was to give it to the Lord. I am here to let you know that that is never true. She lay upon the altar, and Yiftah rose his blade high. But no hand from heaven came to stop Yiftah, and God watched in dark silence as Yiftah slaughtered his beloved daughter. And Jehovah accepted this sacrifice of a young virgin girl. Why, dearest reader, why did God not stop the hand of Yiftah in killing his daughter when he stopped Abraham from killing his son? God has given many people many names to call him: Elohim, Adonai, Allah, Brahma. But he himself is a cosmic orphan, angry at us because he never knew his own father. He knows all things come from a seed, but who planted the seed of God? So as this holiday to celebrate fathers is upon us, let us do so in our own way. Fathers who don't stifle creativity, fathers who accept their children the way they are, fathers who respect the mothers of their children, fathers who work hard to raise children with other fathers, or whatever the designation may be. Celebrate yourself and the people that you love. Leave being judgmental for the religious, and be glad you don't have a son like Jesus, that old spongy, swag-bellied death token whom we all know as a most notable coward, an infinite and endless liar, an hourly promise breaker, and the owner of not one good quality. Until next time, this has been the Book of Lucifer. And for all of you who voice your doubts as to whether the Book of Lucifer is authentic in the comment section, I shall come into your dreams tonight and confirm it. Unless you like and subscribe and share this video. Happy Father's Day to everyone except my father.